You
That's it.
remember? You remember? So it's crazy because I'm thinking back to high school. You remember, like Los had that. Los had this Buick. I think it was a LeSabre. Remember, Daddy?
Yeah, I remember.
This man, Los. He okay. Listen, in high school, this brother took this LeSabre and got custom interior. It was nice. He did his thing with that car, right? He had like this baby blue and white leather, and he redid the carpets in that car was just clean. He drove it the last couple of years in high school, and Los always had a nice car, but that car was it. And I remember he was like, "Man, I'm gonna get some subs in the back." Cool, right? And we was always together. Los picked me up, took me to school every year or every day. So when he got his ride, I had a ride. So he took me up, picked me up to school every day, take me home, and we hang out. Best friend, and I remember we went to a game to go see the Bucks. You remember that? We went to a game to go see the Bucks, and we're walking outside. He just got these and I just knew that car was just too nice being down there, just downtown Milwaukee. And somehow I don't know how these just idiots like they have a nose for stuff like that, he just got it done, and we're walking, and I'm like, I see these two brothers, like they're in his car, two or three, just in his car, windows bashed out, and hey, so he screams at him, "Hey, what's going on? Get out of my car!" We far away, and I'm like, hold away, you don't know. So then they just dart off, just like two little quick, just I don't know, like it was just that fast. If you ever seen like a house fly just like scatter from
Well,
a
so they didn't steal the car. You mean
Cockroach.
They
y'all
stole
saw
the
them? They took
yeah,
stuff out. They took the
yeah,
subs out.
yeah, but they like two little
Speaking
little
of,
little roaches.
There it is. Yep.
there it is.
Yep.
Oh, right on cue. So y'all hear
That's
him?
him.
So
Well, y'all,
we
the
talking
guy,
about we talking
y'all
Yep.
about
hear the
did he
guy
drive
That's
by?
talking?
him.
Y'all
That's
y'all
him.
talking about me. I bet he drive all the way
That's crazy.
sitting back
Yep.
looking out of the back seat.
Yep.
But so they scatter and they running, and they try to get, they broke the steering column. And I remember they broke the steering column and they tried to get the subs out of the back, but they didn't do it. So, and I think we were able to like hot wire the car or something, or maybe like take a screwdriver to start it. But
Yeah,
we
I
ended up
couldn't
calling
remember.
Daddy because we kind of panicked. And I was like, man, we got to get back to the Bradley Center and like, all right, let me call Daddy real quick, let him know, and get the cops and stuff here. And that was a terrible, I felt so bad for him because he had put so much money into that. We were young, and it just we not old or nothing, but we were really, really young high schoolers then. And that brother he had a nice ride, he worked hard for that. And just for them to be trying to take the stuff out of that, it was terrible. Huh?
I've gone through that experience before where I dropped a car note for the first car, or I had a really nice, an Oldsmobile 98. And this is when Bobby was a baby and your car seat was in the back. And I remember dropping the first car note. I was so proud of that car because it was so nice. Dropped it in the mail. Me and your mama go to a play. We went to a play and I parked it on the street. I come back out and that car is gone. Gone. It was gone. I saw the glistening of shattered glass where the car was parked. I found that car maybe about 3 weeks later. Not even 3 weeks later, about 2 weeks later.
And
Cops
how
told
the
me,
condition just ransacked?
uh, they tore the back seat out the car, the firewall. I could see the firewall. It rained that day.
What are you
It,
gonna tear out the
yeah,
for
they
for
tore it,
parts for
Did they
parts?
think
whatever. This thing had these spoke hubcaps on them where the chuck key is a chuck key that you use to unlock them. It was in the glove compartment. They tore the glove box off. The key was still in the box, but they tore the rims off. They tore the rims off. They tore um here's something funny. They damaged the car so bad. It was brand new. They damaged it so bad. But the cops came and they showed me how to hotwire the car to start it. So they did it for me. In fact, they did it for me. Got the car running. Took the car to the gas station. I was running out. I said, I'm running out of gas. And so I got to the gas station, which was right down the road. I put the nozzle in the tank. It was in the back, and I had these white Converse All-Star shoes on. Put the nozzle in the back, start pumping gas straight out onto my shoes. I was like, oh my God. I look under the car. They took the gas tank off the car.
That's
That
crazy.
stuff
Oh,
is
the
just
gas tank
crazy.
off the car.
I
Wow.
never
Oh my God.
understood. You know what? I never
Took the
understood.
gas tank off the car.
I never
That's
even, like I never understood even
Yeah.
why criminals, if you steal a car, like I never understood. I mean, you got to know, I was in the auction business for a long time, stripping a car down for parts and chopping it up, right, for
Who you gonna
money.
sell a gas tank to?
Yeah, yeah, no, like like salvage yards. A lot of times, what would happen is you would get people that for whatever reason would have probably addictions or whatever, and they would figure out ways to make money. So they would steal these cars, chop them up into pieces, take them to salvage yards, get money that way to feed whatever issue they have. Or you'll have, criminals that will take the car to chop shops, and that's all they did. They would just disassemble the car, and you would have gas tanks in this corner, catalytic converters in this corner. We'll cut this car in half, and they'll do the same thing, but in a more organized fashion. I just never understood the reasoning behind that by just if you're gonna sell, like if you're gonna steal a car, wouldn't it be more valuable selling it in one piece, like like just like you get what I'm saying, like it's nothing that, I mean, it's nothing that you can, I don't know, I think that you can get maximum value. So they always ran, it's like I'm just gonna tear it all to pieces and ransack it and whatever, and it just makes zero sense to me, right? Even when someone like just steals a car to go, like I'm stealing a car for one reason or another, so I can go from this side of town to this side of town, so I can have it for 3 days, so I can do some bad things, right? And usually it's just something crazy. I just never understood it. I never understood it. You know what I mean? I'm like, why? You know?
Hmm.
That, I mean, but that's like that, and that's and I think for me, it's like anything else. It's like if I would take, if and this is just criminal, if I was a criminal, if I would take someone's hat and I want to wear a hat, and it's the petty because it's sunny outside, taking your hat, mm, put it on because it's sunny outside. I'm gonna wear it. You know, I'm not gonna you know, scratch it up and you know what I mean? And then you can't have like and I never understood that part either. So if you take something and you use the vehicle for a couple of days, then you decide to leave it, you want to just tear it apart. You know, like how when people just tear stuff apart, but they're not looking for anything, they're just tearing it apart because then they can't have it. So like in a rage, I'm just gonna just tear everything up, pull everything apart, and I'm not taking anything off of it. I'm just gonna bust the steering column. I'm gonna take a knife, cut all the leather. Like that's so common. Like so, then they use the car and then they just tear it apart. So then when the actual owner finds it, it's in pieces. I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyway, I
uh,
Steal
mean,
it from me, keep it.
yeah,
I got a
That's
couple
crazy.
of I got a couple quick stories. So
Uh,
one, like how Daddy his gas tank was stolen. People steal catalytic converters all the time, just off of cars parked on the street, which is ridiculous. And for a while, they were doing it a lot on Priuses out here. Um, but okay, so I'm thinking of two stories that happened to me. Ryan was talking about him and Carlos and the car that Carlos had when he was in high school getting broken into at the Bradley Center. But in high school, I had a car and my car got stolen right out of the parking lot at the school
That
while I was at school.
the big body.
I had the big body
That
Bonneville,
Bonneville, that
Bubble
great
boy. I
Bonneville.
love that
the
car.
gray Pontiac Bonneville,
I
and
got a horror story
dude,
about that too after you.
yeah, I know you got one after when it became
Horror
yours,
story.
but
Yeah, but I love
so
that car, man. That car was so nice. The big body bubble. Oh,
when I
love
when
that
I
car.
first got that car, um, I had it clean. I kept it clean. You know how like
Man,
on
I love that car. That car was
what on Friday after next when he's like, oh, them
They
10,
tens, they tens, but I
they
keep them
10.
clean
I
though.
keep them clean though.
I
So
hate
I kept
man.
that car clean. Man,
It
I had,
was
I
good.
had a tape player in there, and I had all my little tapes in there, and air freshener. It was running good and no problems. Right. And I got that car from my grandmama. So anyway, drive the car to school. And this at the time I was taking Camille, our cousin, and my girlfriend at the time to school every day. So, I go and pick them up and then we go to school. So I park in the parking lot, parking garage, or the parking lot. And I still to this day remember generally the part of the parking lot where I parked this car. I go in, and that day, um, I think that day I did park it in the lot because I didn't have practice for whatever reason. I can't see it
Yeah,
through your blurs on.
yeah, you
Years
got to take the
on.
blur off. Yeah, that's it,
Looks
boy.
it looked
Yep,
like it looked something like that, right?
Yeah,
yep,
So
that's the same one.
okay, so that's
yep.
that's the car that I had,
That's
and I
big.
park it in the
Wide
lot. I
body.
didn't have practice that day or that night, and so we come outside after school, and walking in the lot. I'm like, I started looking. I asked them, I'm like, didn't I park here? Where the car at? And they're like, I don't know, Bobby. This look around. You might maybe we in another. I'm like, this lot ain't that big. It ain't that many rows. It's got to be right here. It's supposed to be right here. I look down. I'm standing in the spot that I know I parked in. I look down on the ground. I see the lock that they popped out of that car. I'm like, oh no. Then I go back inside because now I'm heated. I go back inside the school. I find the security office. I'm like, what y'all doing all day? Y'all didn't see them take my car? And mind you,
Probably eating a
this
donut.
is
No, we
not.
ain't see him
I'm
take
like,
your
I'm
car.
in class. I'm in class. Y'all not doing nothing. I mean, where's the security cameras? What's happening right now?
What they say while they were eating a
That
donut?
look, this lot had a fence around the lot. I don't know, Justin, if you remember this or not. It had a fence around the lot. So
Mhm.
that lot was supposed to be locked once school started. So I don't know how that
It's it
happened,
was an inside job. It was
but
somebody that was clocking you.
Another
some
another student
Yeah, it
probably.
had to be a student.
it was pretty shady.
It was a
And
student
so
that was clocking you. That was all that
I
was.
Hmm.
was, man, I was sick. And I remember it might have taken two or three nights or 2 3 days and nights until they found the car and the police found the car. And I think Daddy probably remember this. They called us and we went. It was somewhere, I don't know where it was, somewhere in the hood, and it was when we got there, it was still running.
Yep. I remember.
And
Dang, I remember you telling me that it was still
yeah,
Hmm.
on.
it was still on, it was still running. Whoever stole the car,
They probably
uh,
was robbing somebody at that moment.
there was a bunch of cigarette butts in there.
They
They
probably
had broken the steering column to hot wire the car, and yeah, like I said, they left it running, right? So then we get there, and I don't know if the screwdriver was already in the ignition, but I remember Daddy drove. I was sitting in the passenger seat, and Daddy drove that car home, and we
Mhm.
had to start it with a screwdriver to get it back to the house, right? So we get it back to the house, and I'm happy because I got the car back. But then you know how it is, you get something stolen or something broken into, it don't feel the same way. Right. So it didn't feel like the same car. I can't. Now, mind you, I'm in high school and I want to get the car fixed. I don't got a whole lot of money to get that car fixed. We ended up going to Papa Bill knew somebody at like the junkyard or something. I don't know where it was. We went to the junkyard
Yeah,
and
Papa
somebody
Bill
at this
he had the
place, he
hookup.
always had the hookup.
Mm.
So like folks that he knew that could fix certain things. We go to this junkyard to get this Bonneville fixed and in working order, right? Now, of course, they don't have original stuff for my car. They pick they pick a different steering wheel from from a car, it was a
Different
salvage
money.
yard, right?
Yeah.
So a different steering wheel, a different a different steering column, and they Lego piece that thing back together, right? And they get it running.
It was still smooth though. That car was a
Okay,
tank because it
so
still was
yeah,
rolling
they get
smooth
it
even
they
when I
get it
got it.
running. Now, okay, hold on. This the other part though. So I go, I do have a little bit of money because I think I was working at like the YMCA at the time, right? So I got a little money to try to get this thing fixed. And what I wanted to do was, I'm like, man, ain't nobody gonna steal this car ever again. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna put an alarm on this car, and that's gonna prevent somebody
Oh,
from stealing this car again,
that's
right?
right. You got the Viper, right? Did you get the Viper?
Yeah, I think it was a Viper alarm. So
Oh,
I go
dude.
and get this car, this alarm put on this car, and this Mr.
I,
Head car now, right? I
that
go and get this alarm put on,
Viper's
and
terrible. It just
the
ruined your
same
ride.
people at the salvage yard that I feel like they the ones that installed the thing. So anyway, one day I'm driving to school and I hit a bump. Boom. Right. And it started beeping. The alarm started
Yeah,
beeping
yeah. I
constantly.
remember it would just beep for no
It would
reason.
beep. Like I was just,
Beep,
and
beep.
at that
Road
point,
runner.
I feel like I remember Daddy and Mama saying, "Okay, I ain't gonna get it fixed. You gonna have to just drive it like this." And I drove that thing. I promise you, for the next like I don't know, 6 months or whatever, it was constant beeping. I
Oh
remember
man.
Camille saying something about the beeping, and then she eventually just ignored it. She had a free ride to the school, so she ignored it, but it was a constant beep, beep, beep for the entire rest of the time that I had that car. And then
Oh
I went to
man.
school, I graduated, went to school, I gave that car to Ryan, and then I heard about something that happened
Then
afterwards.
it
So
just disappeared. It just
I'm gonna
magically
leave that
disappeared.
story, that part of the story for you. But
Just
that's
magically
what happened with
disappeared
that
after that.
Bonneville when I had it.
Yeah.
Last real quick story that I got about a car, real fast. Um, we had a car years ago out here, and it was like a blue Honda Civic, right? And that car,
I thought you
um,
was gonna tell your other Bonneville story when I was there.
no, well, no, that one I had two Bonnevilles, but yeah, okay, no, but this is about the Honda Civic one, right? So that car, I remember Layla's mom, that was her car, and parked it at the zoo one day, and I wasn't with her. She parked it at the zoo. She went to the zoo, and then a few hours later came out and I get a call like I can't find my car. I'm like, Where'd you park it? In the zoo parking lot. Now, this is different than the parking lot at the school. This thing is massive, right? It's so big, so many aisles. I'm like, okay, well, where'd you park? Just look for it. And couldn't find it. Like an hour go back past, can't find it. I get down there and then we in my car driving up and down every single aisle in the zoo parking lot, cannot find this car. I'm like,
Mm.
what happened? And this is during the middle of the day. Okay. So after a couple hours of just doing the same thing, it's like, okay, somebody took this car. So we, reported stolen. And like a night or maybe 2 nights after that, we get a call in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, from the police. Oh, well, we found your car. It's actually back at the zoo, in the zoo parking lot. And you got about an hour down to get down here to get this car. Otherwise, we going tow it to the impound. You call us at 2. Of course, we sleep. We ain't wake up, right? I wake up the next day and I get this voicemail. So we end up, both of us end up having to go down to the impound to pay to get our car out of that lockup because somebody stole it apparently to do what they say they think happened. The police think happened is
Because
somebody
wasn't nothing
stole the
wrong with it.
car. Huh?
I said wasn't nothing wrong with it. I bet. Was it like clean
So
sale?
no, look, hold on. When we got there, she had a laptop in the car, in like the trunk. Laptop was still there
Oh yeah.
because
Right.
she was in
All right.
school.
Okay. All
Right.
right.
She
Yeah.
had every little thing in her car was still where it was
Yeah.
when
Well,
she went to the zoo.
we
And
already know what
so
this is
what they
about.
said they think happened was they took the car, did a run of some
Yeah.
drugs over to across the border,
Of
and then
course.
came back
It was
and
like
put it right
whatever.
where they found it.
Because
But that was, to me, was like the crazy thing. The most annoying thing though was that we both had to pay for it to get it out. Like somebody steal our car, and we got to pay to get it out. That
yeah,
was so frustrating.
they had
And
to
they
move.
took their sweet time at that impound too.
They
But
had to
anyway,
move. They had
those
to
are
Oh,
my crazy stories.
they had to
they
move.
gonna eat a dozen donuts before they find that car in the impound.
Oh man,
You know.
that was so
You know
frustrating.
what? So probably the most frustrating. I have a similar story. The most frustrating one that I had, right? And I remember being broke, like really, really just broke. And I was just kind of getting myself together. And Sarai's mother she had just got a new apartment in Pearland or whatever. I'm sitting there trying to go over there all behind her in the middle of the night and all this other stuff, trying to date her and whatever. Right? Oh, well, come on over here. So we went on a date. I remember going on a date with her and then spending the night at her apartment. Somehow or another, I think this was Sunday, and I had to be at work on Monday. And mind you, I didn't really have like a whole lot of money, right? For emergencies back then, right? I'm just a young whippersnapper trying to figure it out. And so I'm leaving in the middle of the night or like really early at like 4 in the morning because I'm like, all right, let me get home so I can get ready for work. Car is gone. Car's gone. So and in here in Houston, the towing business is a big business, right? You have tow trucks that like if you don't park in the permitted areas for apartment complexes, they just call them up and it's a profit sharing agreement. And every single time it's $400 flat or 350 flat, no, $385 flat to get it from the tow yard, and then it's like $100 a day, right, or something like that, or 150 dollars a day. Then after that, they can legally put a lien on your car, hold it for another 60 or 30 to 60 days, and then they can take that. Now they own your vehicle, right? Because now they have a lien on it for the unpaid whatever for them quote unquote taking it and then letting it sit. Then they can sell it at auction and make all profit, just make money off of your vehicle, which is it's just a racket to me. It's just terrible. So, but I remember being pissed off because I saw the tow truck guy. I didn't see my car, but I said, "Man, you towed my car." I was angry. Well, you had that silver Challenger? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got to call this number. Just whatever. That's what he gave me, and I'm like, what? I'm panicking. I'm like, man, because I'm thinking I ain't got no money. I'm like, I need my car so I can go to work. And what little bit of money I had her take me. And I'm sitting there just cussing like a sailor the whole time, pissed off, angry, uncontrolled. And I get there, and it was like just real. You know how it is. And my car was brand new. I just got this Challenger. It was like a month in. It was, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I remember that Challenger.
Yeah,
I
it
remember.
was brand new. And they lifted my car, and it felt I had took it back to Dodge to make sure everything the undercarriage was still tight. I think I remember calling Daddy on that. I'm like, man, something ain't, they put my car on that thing and they just took it to Chevy, and I'm like, man, check or Dodge. I'm like, check this out. So I remember it was in the middle of the night, and the guy looked at me like this. And I'll get there, and he looks down at me. It's like this desk that's like it's not even eye level. It's like almost it feels like 10 feet in the air. The check-in desk. So I can see him, but I can't like show my ID or anything or whatever. It's really weird. And then you hit like they have somebody, and I think it's for security because people tweak out real bad if they can't get their car. So it's like he's like 10, literally 10 feet in the air. I'm talking to him. That'd be 400. I'm gonna have somebody come check. So then he sends a guy to the side gate. It's like a security gate with the barbed wire. And then it's like two dudes, and then it's a desk that you pay at, like a check-in desk that's secondary to the security desk. I get in there, I pay for it, and I leave. But I remember he made me wait there for like 10 minutes. I'm gonna have somebody sit, and he's looking at me for 10 minutes. And then they open it, and then I pay. I'm like, why they just play with you? They play with you. I was so angry. I was like, keep your cool, Ryan. Keep your cool. Got my car, got up out of there.
Yeah,
Horrible experience.
it don't make sense.
Yeah.
That's like legal thievery. And
Oh, dude,
somebody,
all day.
somebody towed my car from the doctor's office one time. I'm just going to the doctor's office.
What? Would you park in a handicap spot or something?
No,
Man, look,
he was in a legal spot, and they just told it.
okay, this is how like sometimes overnight the parking rules change.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that was what happened. I went there not like maybe a week or a couple of weeks before, and I parked in the parking lot, and it was fine. No issue, no signs, no nothing. And the day that I got there, the second, like a week or a couple of weeks after that, I had to go back, and um, I'm running late, right? So I go and I park in the same parking lot around the same spot that I parked before. I come out afterwards. I'm looking around yet again, dumbfounded, like, I know I just parked here. Where is my car? And then I started noticing the signs at that point. New rules. You can't park here. You can't park there. You can't park there. Basically, they had a parking lot where you couldn't park anywhere. And
Yeah.
I got it towed. I had to get a lift over to the tow yard to pay to get my car out. Like, man, this is
Dang.
a crazy
Re
day.
Ridiculous. So
It's
bad.
ridiculous.
Like, I feel so
No way.
fortunate.
No way.
I feel so fortunate listening to these stories because like I don't have a crazy car story like this, but
Good.
because like all throughout high school, if I wanted to go somewhere, like Quentin was always my ride, and Quentin never got his car stolen or nothing like that crazy happened to him. But like I would say like now that I have my car, like I'm like a doomsday prepper when it comes to my car so that nothing happens to it. Like in the back of my car, you're gonna find all kind of like supplies. Like I keep a case of water in my car. I keep like snacks in the car. I keep a junk box. I got a fire extinguisher right behind, the driver's seat. I make sure to keep some air tags in my car. I'm serious. I keep like some air tags in the car, like
Oh
in
yeah,
case it gets
having an air tag
stolen.
is good. Yeah, that's good.
Like like so like in case something crazy happens to my car, like I'm kind of covered on all fronts. I got my jack, my lug wrench, all of that stuff, in case any type of scenario happens. So like I'm fortunate. The only thing that happened to me really is like when I had an accident, like it wasn't an accident, like I backed into a pole, into a light fixture once, and it like shattered, like dented my trunk. But I mean, nothing crazy. I don't have nothing crazy to where like I had a car stolen or where I was stranded somewhere. I do remember one time though when I was younger, like I don't know what car mama was driving, and this was in winter too, and it was like real cold. Like mama had like a defective car door at one point. And like I remember sitting on the way in the back seat, having to hold this car door so it didn't swing open. And it's like bumping uh it's like, I'm trying to keep this car door open, but like or keep it closed, but it's like, it's taking like all my strength as a kid to keep this car door closed. And like it was in the middle of winter, and like so like some cold blast of air is like getting in the car, and I'm like, oh God, just get us home. I don't know what car was that, Daddy, where she had like a defective door. I think it was like the car she had before the Grand Prix. What car did she have before the Grand Prix?
Grand Am.
It might have been that one.
The red
She's
But
one.
had like,
like,
yeah, she's had several.
yeah.
She's
But like I remember like one like having to like hold like her car door closed because like she couldn't close it
yeah,
for some reason, and it was
there's
but
always an issue. You
yeah.
know, it's funny how she drives a car. I'm so diligent as far as watching gauges and all that kind of stuff. I will, if a light comes on, I'm figuring it out. But, you know, not that way sometimes with her. She just
Mhm.
drives and goes, gas it and go, you
Mhm.
know, don't warm it up and go, that type of thing. But, when we got down here, I had that big old truck and she had that Grand Prix. And, you know, coming from a winter environment to, a tropical environment, it did a number on them cars. They should have stayed in the cold, to be honest with you. I mean,
Right.
those cars, they just deteriorated so fast, you
Like
know.
I remember the day that truck clocked out on you. It was like you was taking me to work,
Yeah,
and like and
it just died.
it just died, and like we got stranded on the side of the road, and like Ryan
Yeah,
had to come pick us up.
yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
car
Yeah.
story, with that, I've always bought cars new, and that truck was almost 14 years old, something like that, 12 years old.
Mhm.
But, I had
Yeah.
all the tools to fix it, so it was not an issue. Plus, the other cars, your mom's car, had tools to fix that. So, those cars last a long time. So, only thing I do, put oil in them, make sure the maintenance is routine, and you'll have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It's true. I got I remember coming back from being out of town and the car at the airport, my car at the airport not starting, right? Having to get it jumped in the airport at the airport parking lot. All right. I remember the other Bonneville that I had, it was gold. I called it gold member. So gold member died on me. Yeah, I drove gold member around for a long time and then it died on me on the freeway. Where no, you know what? I was just exiting. I felt it. I felt it about to go, and so I exited, and right on the exit ramp, right before I got to the light at the bottom of the exit ramp is when it died.
Well, you had three Bonnevilles, right? You
I
had
had I
the
had just
silver
the
one.
two. I had a gray one and I had a gold one, and then I
Oh, okay.
and then that was it for Pontiac because I think Pontiac stopped being a company. But
Well, yeah, because I
um,
remember wasn't it right before I came out there? I came out
it
there.
was right before you came here and right before Layla. No, right as I think right after Layla was born, and then that's when I got
Well,
the Pathfinder.
I'm not gonna act like I was the glue there that helps you
I knew you was gonna
solve
say
the
something like
problem.
that.
No, I'm just
I
saying.
knew it.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
There's
Ryan was the car expert. He helped me and Mama get our car.
I know. Look, I knew he was
just
gonna say
tell
something
them,
like that.
Bear. But you know what?
No, I mean,
Let me just say this real quick, and then we can all roll out. Bobby, I don't know if the car was starting or you thought the car was gonna start, but he panicked. I remember him going outside and like he was just like running, turning in a circle when he was trying to get the car out of the garage. I think you thought USA was gonna come and get it, and then they just something happened with them and the car wasn't running. And I was just like, man, I have a solution for you. Calm down. We'll figure this out, man. He's
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember. Yeah, go ahead. I
he
remember
was,
what you said. He did help me.
he walked outside.
Look, hold on, you exaggerating all of
No,
that,
no,
but you
no.
did help me.
I
Go
want
ahead.
so
Go ahead.
listen. It was a nice 75-degree day in San Diego. I was on vacation.
Nah, it wasn't all that.
Sure.
And
here we go.
let me just set the scene. I woke up, got me some coffee and some little toast. I was like, look at the family and everything. Where's Bobby at? Where's my brother? Let me catch up. Oh, outside. And I remember his wife at the time. Something's not right. I was like, what? I'm like, let me see what's going on. So Bobby had an A shirt, not a tank top. You know, like the loose A shirt, like Will Smith, Fresh Prince. A shirt with some jean shorts, and I remember him having some socks that came up to his shin with some
Now
black
we
shorts.
know you making it
All
up
right,
now.
what is the point?
This don't got
Listen,
nothing to do with the
listen,
car. Yeah,
listen. So I
he
remember him
just
having
making
this
stuff up
out.
now.
So
Distorting history.
he was turning in a circle, and the A shirt was loose. But I'm just saying it was. He was angry, and I was like, Bobby. He was like, "Oh, leave me alone, man. I can't do it." I was like, "Oh, wait." I was like, "Let me." He was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do with the car. The car won't start." So listen, relax. That's what I'm here for.
When is
I said,
Ryan ever that calm? You
listen,
know he lying.
Never.
listen. I said, relax, man.
You know he
We
lying.
can tow this car to CarMax, have them buy you, cut
He
you a
did say that.
draft. I
That is
said,
true.
and he said, "Well, USA is supposed to come. I don't know what
Hell
I'm
no,
gonna do. USA is supposed to come." Yeah. I said,
yeah, right.
"Stop." I was like, "Put your USA car away." I said, "You have Geico. Do you have rental or something?" I said, "Do you have towing assistance on your insurance?"
What?
Well, yeah, I do. And I was like, "Let's call your insurance company and have them pick it up." So they came. Geico comes and picks the car up in the back of the alley. And somehow or another, I forget, we either Uber it or the people that came with them, or I think, no, I had CarMax come and pick us up. I was like, look, we're selling this car. Have somebody come and pick us up. So they come and pick us up, and all of a sudden, all I hear is handle. And so I said, listen, I said, when he gets there, cut him a check, cut him a draft, take the car in, and just package it up. I was like, it's been a long day for him. We're trying to get through this. So I packaged it up, and I was car industry at this point. So we get them all buttoned up, get him a draft, and I said, solution. I was like, problem solved. You can breathe in and out. And so I said, let's go and get some Dole Whip. And for people that don't know, Dole Whip is a California ice cream. And we went and had a nice Dole Whip, and I solved the problem. So,
You
Did
know,
you get another car? Is a question.
Oh
oh,
so
he did.
God.
Oh, he
so
did. On the back end of that weekend,
I did get
I,
another car.
yeah, and who was
You
there?
wait, you gonna tell did you do that too? You know
I
what?
think I think I helped manage the situation.
Ryan did help me with the CarMax situation. The way he told that story is about 60% true, but with a whole lot of exaggeration in there. But he did help me. He did help me. I appreciate it, brother.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I'm here for, man. I'm
Yeah,
here to
yeah.
help solve problems.
All right, guys.
All
All
right.
Appreciate
right.
it. Good
All
work,
right, fellas.
fellas.
Y'all be
Um,
good.
like, subscribe, and share. And we'll be back on another one pretty soon. Thanks, everybody.
God
All right.
Peace.
bless.